Here is section 4.1. We are going to review some of the things you already should know about, in particular, slope. And so if you look at our expression that we have up on the screen right now, that we should be familiar with the fact that on any straight line, if we want to find the slope between 2 points, in this case P and Q, that each coordinate has x and y values, and the change in the y values we call the rise, which can be expressed at least 3 different ways. And then we have the run, which is your change in your x values. And we're going to be using that over and over in this assignment. So for example, in this question on the bottom, find the slope of a line through 2 points. We could sketch the situation, but we could also do it without having to sketch it by simply taking the change in the y values over the change in the x values. And you can get your answer quite simply. So you've done that a lot in the past. Slope also often applies to real situations. So in this case, we have not a change in x, but a change in time, and not a change in y, but a change in money. And so if we talk about the slope, well, that's the change in the money over the change in time, which in this case goes from 100 to 500, which is $400, over a time period of 10 to 40, so 30 hours. And so whatever answer that is, it's a repeating value, but it'll be dollars per hour. When you do your assignment, you're going to run into some questions that look like this one right here. You might want to look at that right now on page 153, your turn number 2, or look at the example that goes with it and give that question a try if you want. Similarly, on the next page here, there's another example you're going to need to look at, example 3, on page 154. And again, you can try those if you want. I don't anticipate you're going to be having too much trouble. Throughout the lesson, you're going to review some of the things that you should already be familiar with. We've used this a lot in your math past, the slope-intercept form of a line. You haven't used this as much, which is called point slope, but all that is it's just a rearrangement of your formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And it allows you to do the same thing as the point slope formula. Basically, we know how to describe a horizontal line where it's always y equals a number. A vertical line is always x equals a number. If you're asked to put something into general form, it means move it all to one side, make it equal to 0 with no fractions or decimals. And you'll also run into some problems involving parallel and perpendicular lines, which we'll talk about right away. So a lot of your assignment is going to be creating line equations. So for instance, in the information we're given in question A, the slope is negative 2/3. So I would use point slope form, replacing m with negative 2/3. And then to find the value of b, I replace my y with negative 9 and my x with 5. And I could find b, and then I would have my equation. Similarly, when you have 2 points, you would first have to find m. So we're looking at this one. You'd have to find m first, then you would repeat the same process that you did in question A to find the value of b. And then you're going to run into some questions that involve parallel, and again, parallel lines have the same slope, and so you're going to have to take that into consideration, and perpendicular lines have slopes that are negative reciprocals of one another. And you're going to need to review that when you do the assignment. So most of this is just review for you. Here's your assignment, page 155, 158. I don't want to take any more of your time going over stuff that you should already know. When you have questions, please ask and I'll help you out. Alrighty, talk to you again soon.